Hello and welcome to BISP Solution. This is a series of webinar on fixed assets, basic configuration in eBusiness Suite. In day 7, today's agenda: overview process flow from payables to fixed asset, in which we will prepare mass addition and then we will have a post mass addition, the deletion of mass addition process, which is optional one, and find the asset in our asset book. So before going to today's topic, let us take a quick recap what we have seen in the day 6 session. We have overview asset workbench, and then we created manual asset through quick addition and filled relevant information such as date in service placed, asset category, depreciation expenses, location, and review the same through asset workbench. For more details, you can watch our day 6 webinar. So let us move to today's topic again. So overview flow of payables to fixed assets. The mass addition process lets you add new asset or cost adjustment from other system to your system automatically without re-entering the data. For example, you can add new asset from invoice lines brought over to Oracle asset from Oracle Payable, or from CIP asset lines sent from Oracle projects. So let us move to the application and see mass addition workbench out there. Let us log into the application now. From the navigator, I will select my responsibility as Asset Vision Operation USA. To the mass addition, you can see there is a prepare mass addition, post mass addition, delete mass addition, addition integrator. Right, so first we will go for post mass addition. Right, so let us move to the workbench out there. Let again re-navigate from here, mass addition. I am in asset vision operation responsibility, and mass addition, select that, prepare mass addition. Using the mass addition workbench, the window to review, the merge, the split, and the remove the mass addition. The mass addition workbench is graphic representation of window in the mass addition workbench, and there the relation to each other. The following tables describe this relationship. Say the find mass addition. So mass addition summary is there, and you can add the asset, merge the asset, merge the mass addition. Mass addition button includes split, add to asset, merge, and open. So create a mass addition from invoice distribution in Payables. So let us again move to the PPT. The process flow from Payables. So first we will create invoice in the invoice workbench, and in the asset clearing, in the distribution line, we will provide the asset clearing account and check the track as asset. Then assign your book. If you have a multiple books, you should assign your book and save your book. Then we will validate the invoice, and the most important for post mass addition, run the mass addition process, you should create accounting by posting to ledger. Then we will run the mass addition process from request group, and then run the mass addition process report from the request group. And the navigation will be invoice, entry, invoice, and using my responsibility as Payables Vision USA. So let us discuss about the process. So mass addition lets you add the asset and the cost adjustment directly into the Oracle asset from invoice information in Payables. The create mass addition for Oracle asset process sends valid invoice lines and distribution and associate discount from Payables to the interface table in the Oracle asset. Then you review them in the Oracle asset and determines whether to create asset from the line. You must register the clearing account you want to use as a asset account in the segment value window. The create mass addition process selects payable invoice line distribution charge to clearing account with the type of asset. for each asset category in the Oracle asset for which you want to import the invoice line distribution from payables defines the valid asset clearing and construction in process clearing account, that is CIP clearing account. These accounts must be a type asset. The create mass addition process only import lines charged to account that are already set up in your asset category. While using the multiple ledger, payable must be tied to same ledger as the corporate book for which you want to create mass addition in Oracle asset. If you use the multiple organization feature and have multiple corporate books in the Oracle asset, ensure that you create mass addition for the correct Oracle asset corporate book. You cannot create mass addition for tax book. So you cannot create the mass addition for tax book. You can define a default asset category for an item in the purchasing or inventory. Then when you purchase or pay for one of these items using the purchasing and the payables, the mass addition process default the asset category. This is only the time the Oracle asset defaults an asset category from a new mass addition line. If you want mass addition lines for an item to appear in the Oracle asset with an asset category, you must define the default asset category for an item in the item window in the purchasing or inventory. Create a purchase order for that item. Receive the item in either purchasing or inventory. Enter an invoice in the payables and match it to the outstanding purchase order. Approve the invoice. Post the invoice to GL. After that, you run create mass addition. The mass addition line appears in the asset category you specify for the item. When you enter the new invoice in the payables, if you want the invoice line to import in the Oracle asset, you must charge the distribution to clearing account that is already assigned to an asset category. The line amount can be a positive or negative. Now, addition information you need to enter in the description field in the invoice summary window in the payable appears in the description field in the mass addition window in the Oracle asset. The discount line distribution brought over to a Oracle asset automatically have description of discount. If you enter the purchase order purchasing with multiple units, match it with completely to an invoice in payables, and create mass addition process using the number of units specified by the original purchase order for the mass addition line. The mass addition line creates from invoice enters directly into payables without matching of a purchase order default to 1 unit. You can update the numbers of unit in the mass addition window. After you approve and post the invoice in the payables, you can run the create mass addition for Oracle asset process to send the valid invoice line to distribution, invoice line distribution to Oracle asset. You can easily process and track returning using the mass addition. For example, you receive an invoice and post it and create an asset using mass addition. You then discover that the asset is defective and you must return it. First, you reverse the invoice in the payables, changing the credit invoice line distribution to the same asset clearing account. When you run the mass addition to bring over the credit line, add this line to the existing asset to bring the asset cost to 0. Now you can retire the asset. The asset does not affect your balance sheet, but its audit trail remains intact. For mass addition, create process in importing the invoice line distribution in Oracle asset. These specific conditions must be met while importing the asset invoice from distribution, invoice line distribution. The line is charged to the account setup as an asset account. The account is set up as existing asset category. Enter the asset clearing account or CIP clearing account. Track as asset. Check the window. Track the asset as checkbox is checked. It automatically checked if the account is asset account. The invoice is approved. The invoice line distribution is posted to Oracle General Ledger from the payables. General ledger date on the invoice line distribution is on or before the date you specify for the creating the program. If you use the multi-organization feature, your payable operating unit must be tied to the same ledger as corporate book for which you want to create mass addition. Then you can run the create master edition for Oracle asset as many times as you like during the period. Each time is sent potential asset invoice line distribution and any associated discount line to Oracle asset payable ensures that it does not bring over the same line twice. Using the post accounting program in the Oracle subledger accounting to determine the line type that should be interfaced to the Oracle asset by the mass addition create program. Verify that you create mass addition for correct corporate book in the Oracle asset because you cannot undo the process and resend them to the different book. So if you verify that you are creating mass addition for a correct corporate book in the Oracle asset because you cannot undo the process and resend them to the different book. Payable sends the line of invoice entered in the foreign currency to the Oracle asset in converted ledger currency. Since the Oracle asset creates journal entry for the ledger currency amount, you must clear any foreign currency invoice manually in your general ledger and review the mass addition create report to see the foreign and ledger currency amount. Now let us move to the application and see how the tasks are performed. So I will now change my responsibility to Payables Vision Operation USA, invoice entry, invoice. Let us create one invoice. So I will select advanced network device, select the supplier site. So I selected the supplier site as, and invoice date is today's date, and I will provide the invoice number, say INV invoice, invoice amount. I will provide the invoice amount, say $10,000. So my payment is in USD. You can provide the description, say laptops. Now I will move to lines. I will provide the amount and I will go to distribution. I will provide the amount and out here I will provide the asset clearing. Asset clearing account, and from here show field I will select track as asset. So okay, and I will select my book out here. My book is X and X Corporate. And save my work. I will close. So you can see out here I have provided the lowest level, that is distribution line. I have provided the track as asset and provided as asset clearing account. Out here you can see so track and asset is also out here and book is also out here, right? So I have provided the same, and after that, so status is not validated now. Through actions I will select validate the invoice. The status is validated now, and now from actions I will create accounting and post the same to GL, which is very mandatory. If you don't do this, the mass addition create mass addition is paid. The accounting has been successful for this transaction. Let us review the accounting entries. View accounting. view the journal entry. So you can see the asset clearing account is been debited and the liability account is credited. Entry status is final. So let us move to request group and submit one process mass addition create. Select that, say enter the GL parameters. The date will be and select the book. Say OK and submit the same. Say no and find the same. Let's refresh the data. So it has been completed now. let us view the report of mass addition. I will submit one more request. Mass addition creation report. So I will provide the book. Say OK. Submit the same. Let us view the output. So you can see the line has been moved to the asset interface line. Now let us again switch our responsibility now let us switch the responsibility to asset vision operation USA. From here I will select mass addition and prepare a mass addition. You can select the book from here. Find that, and you can provide with invoice number or transaction date or description right. So I will select with the transaction date. So date is, and find the asset. So you can see the invoice number 444 and the distribution line 1 and the invoice line 1, and the queue is new, and the description is tablet and laptops, and the unit is 1, and you can see the supplier name is Advanced Network Device, and the source system you can see out here is Oracle Payables, and the clearing account is what we have mentioned out there, and this is our book. Let us prepare this asset, this invoice line. Open that. The queue is new. Let us make it as post. So you have to provide the category. Let us provide the category. say it's a laptop, and provide the depreciation expense account, and the location. Let us provide the location, say the country, let us take as Redwood City, let us take what we have defined, that is state is Delhi and New Delhi, and the building is HQ building, so date in service I provided as January 23. This is my open period. I have not created any depreciation and never closed the books. So let us say it is 20th January, place date in service, and you can see the source system is Oracle Payables. And the asset detail, you can see the asset detail, you can provide the tag or you can provide the serial number and the unit. So number of units you can provide, say 10, number of units are there 10, and the manufacturer I would say it's a HP, and if you want to capture the warranty number you can do so, and I will select as new, and the depreciation. So depreciation is as we are defined in the category, asset category, the depreciation. So it is coming from category as we had defined out there, and the prorate convention. Let us go to assignment also. In the assignment I will select 10, and the depreciation expenses I will provide the depreciation expenses, say OK, and the location I will provide state as Delhi HQ. Say OK. Say done. So you can see that we have filled the necessary details. Now we will run the post mass addition. Select the same post mass addition. Let us select the book. And select and submit the same. The request has been submitted. Let us review the request. Let us review the report. You can see this asset number is being generated. Let us review the asset. From asset workbench, asset number, and provide the book. And find the asset. You can see the asset has been updated in our book. You can go to book, select the book. You can view the asset current cost and the depreciation convention. Right? So let us view the source line also. So you can see the asset number, the type is capitalized, and the invoice line is 1, and the distribution line and the financial inquiry you can do. So you can see the cost of asset after salvage value, after deducting the salvage value, the recoverable cost is $9,800, and we have not depreciated any depreciation right now. We have not run the depreciation. In coming sessions, we will run the depreciation. So, in the cost history, you can see the addition process, right? So, you can view the financial information of this particular asset, that is 264,822. This is my asset number. So you can, in future, in the next session, we will see how to transfer the asset using the assignments and other things we will see in the upcoming sessions. So you can retire the asset. So we will also see how to retire the asset and how to reinstate the asset in upcoming sessions. So this is the flow. In the fixed assets, we prepare the source line, we update the asset information that is new to post, then we updated the asset information and put in service date. Then we provide depreciation expenses account, then we provide the location. The asset key option is optional, and then we save our work. We run the post addition process, review the post addition report, and then we inquire and review the asset from asset workbench with asset number and the book. The navigation for that is mass addition, prepare mass addition, and for inquiry we have used that asset workbench. So this is all about mass addition process from payables, how the process are done in application. So that's it for today. In upcoming session, we can see how the CIP asset are created, how assets are transferred, change detail in the asset after date in place service. We will do the revaluation of assets and also reclassification of asset. We also will do retirement and restatement of asset in eBusiness Suite. So thanks for joining this webinar. Thank you again.